The station's videotape archives contain only brief glimpses of old KOAM newscasts and newscasters and date back only to the late 1970s. It seemed the 25 years of KOAM newscasts prior to that were preserved only in photographs and memories.
Melody Matinee was shot here too, on this end.
Right on this end.
Right here, yeah.
Merle Allen has plenty of memories. He worked on a variety of programs in this studio in the 1960s, but his primary job was as a newsman.
But it was right here. This, right there is where the desk was.
The News Desk. This newly discovered home movie, shot in 1963, gives us our earliest known moving images of KOAM News. That's noon anchor Don Blythe. That plaque, a reminder that the Joplin Globe was a part owner of the station then. That bookcase backdrop was just painted fabric. The crew would pull a curtain in front of it to create an even simpler set for the Farm Market Report from Harold Glenn Pendleton, known on air as Glenn Harold. Pull those aside and you'd find a kitchen set for an occasional cooking segment. Notice the backdrop outside the window is black and white. Not a problem, because in 1963 the station wasn't yet broadcasting in color. That guy stealing a bite is Vic Cox, best known for manning the sports desk for 25 years. This little corner.
This corner was where the weather was, and with the weather map that we saw.
This tiny space was enough for a young Jim Hollis to give his weather forecast. Hollis would later move on to a long Hall of Fame career as a news anchor at WIBW in Topeka. But on this day in 1963, the tool of his trade was a grease pencil.
Well, it was simple, and it told the story, but it was relevant on how well you could draw, and I could draw horrible.
The 1963 control room was only a bit more high-tech. The director shielding his eyes from the camera lights is that same Jim Hollis. It was common in those days for KOAM on-air news employees to also direct the entertainment shows. And this is that same control room today, with technology several generations removed. Merle remembers well those days when news employees would work double duty in the control room and studio.
You know, I don't know that I would call it fun necessarily, because we were putting in the hours and we were actually working, but we laughed a lot.
For every person in front of the camera, there were many more behind it. And they all made a promise to the four states to make local news coverage the station's highest priority.
It was so meaningful, it was so important. This station was people's link to the world. I can still feel it. It was a very big responsibility.
People in the TV news business accept that their product expires as it's created and must be replenished every day. The only constant is the commitment, passed on for generations, as enduring as the silent images preserved on the lost reels.